Hi, my name is Nate Bargatze, and I feel a heaviness about being Conan O'Brien's friend.
The dumbest I've ever been talked to, I like to golf. And so a guy was telling me there's a real golf course in North Carolina where they have llamas or the caddies. So if you don't know anything about golf, I mean, you know, a caddy usually carries your bag around, tells you how far you are from the hole, and helps you out. So this course, they have llamas. So you put your golf bag on a llama, and it carries your bag. So he told me that, and then he looks into my big dumb eyes, and he goes, just so you know, llamas can't talk, though. I mean, that's the question he was trying to get ahead of as he looked into my stupid eyes. Like, he's like, I'm going to say it so that guy doesn't have to say it. I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to, like, answer my 6-year-old's questions. She's like, why is the sun hot? I'm like, 'cause it's on fire. It's a stupid question. I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about, like, adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, you better do something. I'm like, I'm so tired of it. Let's do it. I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now. But once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming. And I've got some pretty good ideas, you know? I took speech in college. I would ride there with my friends going to a business class or something, whatever you go to. I was like, all right, I'll catch you after speech. And I still say a lot of words wrong. That's what I don't understand. I say poem, which no one ever knows. Poem, like, yeah, P-O-E-M, I go poem. Well, fix that, speech class. What if I want to be a poem writer? What if I have a lot of great poem ideas? And no one takes me serious because I'm like, listen to my poems. They still want to do Thanksgiving at their house, but they don't have the room for us. There's like 20 of us. It's like a college kid being like, you want to do Christmas in my dorm room? There's a table for 4, and then they have to put a train of TV trays and nightstands that just weaves down this hallway. I mean, you're sitting on stairs. We made the kids go eat in the car. We just go back in the car. You can't even eat inside. My mom didn't have ketchup. I was like, everybody just has ketchup. It just comes in houses. If I went to some alcoholic's house, he would have ketchup. His whole family would be gone. But I would say, do you have ketchup? He'd be like, I'm not that gone, man. Marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. And she was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So, you know, but I was probably going to start, and I needed to get all this stuff there. One thing I got when I hit my 40s was claustrophobia. Never had it. Actually got it here on the Simpsons ride, which is what's crazy. I mean, we're 100 yards away from where my life fell apart. I rode that ride with my daughter, and we're sitting on it, and we had another buddy, and he has his 2 girls on, and so we sit there, and they pull the bar down, and the bar, my leg gets stuck in the middle, and it just opened a door that I never knew was there. I mean, it's like a problem. I had to stop the ride. It's super embarrassing to stop a child's ride and just be like, I'm just waving. I'm like, I can't do it. And then they opened the bar and they go, all right, you can do it again. I was like, I'm out, dude. And no one got to ride it because I couldn't ride it. We all had to leave. Ruined it for everybody. And that's claustrophobia. It just kind of ruins everybody's time. I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now. And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, she'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead. My wife's good though. She's put up through a ton with me. I remember 3 months into our marriage, one night I came home and I was like really drunk. I was hammered and I know she loves that. So I spoil her a little bit. I'm like a pretty decent guy. So we go to bed and, all right, I'll be honest with you. I peed the bed. Yeah. I shouldn't have. I was pretty good though. I kind of blamed it on her. I remember I just woke up and I go, hey, what's wet? All right. Did you pour a perfect circle of water underneath me? A flawless circle. She was like, no, you peed the bed. What is wrong with you? Did I marry you or did I have you? I have no idea. I can be wasteful. If something gets to the bottom, I will throw it away. Ketchup. If ketchup gets that much left, I'm like, blah. She will put the old ketchup with the new ketchup. That way your ketchup's always gross. Toothpaste. I will use it to what I think the average person uses it to. I don't think I should feel muscles trying to get it out. I'm not gonna have an iron on top of it. But she'll do it more. So I know when I'm done with it, I give it to the hobo I married. She cuts it, gets it all out. I married an old man from the Depression is who I married. She would have thrived during the Depression. I don't think she would have known there was a Depression. All right. So we got in the fight over the phrase one fell swoop. Just over this saying. And if you're a newlywed, you're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You're right, it doesn't. This is a double-digit married fight. This is when you've already done all the dish fighting or the putting your clothes away fighting. This is when they're trying to mentally break you. They got you almost how they want you, and this is the one that sends it over the edge. So my wife, she wanted to go visit her parents one weekend, and her parents are divorced, and which has been hardest on me, to be honest. That's something people don't talk about, you know? When you marry into divorce, I mean, they divorced because of her, not me, so why do I have to go to 50 different houses? So she wanted to go visit her parents and shit, I want to do it in one fell swoop. Now, I've never heard my wife say the phrase one fell swoop. We've been together 20 years, she's never said it. And it felt like someone that day told her, hey, you should start using one fell swoop more. And she goes, I'm about to call my husband, and goes, perfect, use it 40 to 50 times on him. So she calls me and she goes, I want to go visit my parents and I want to do it in one fell swoop. And I go, all right, let's do it in one fell swoop. She goes, I want to do it in one fell swoop. I go, let's do it in one fell swoop, you know? Let's swoop it up, I'm down. And she kept saying it, one fell swoop, one fell swoop. I mean, over and over again. And then when she went to describe this one fell swoop trip, she goes, we'll go to my mom's, come home, then go to my dad's. And so I just waited and she didn't say anything. And I just go, that's not what one fell swoop means. And instead of possibly just being wrong, She goes, I know what one fell swoop means. I go, yeah, it doesn't sound like you do, all right? And we have the same last name. I can't have you out there in a one fell swoop conversation. What do you think two birds, one stone mean? Let's just go through them all. I don't know if you know any of these. She hangs up on me. So I get home, and you know when you walk home and you've been in a fight, and you're like, all right, how long is this fight? Is it happening still? Is it over? I don't know. I got to fill it out, you know? She never uses words like sorry. I'd love to hear that. I mean, that's a word she definitely doesn't know what it means. And I say it all the time. I walk around the house with just a sack of sorries, just handing them out all day. I try to give her some, like, would you like to carry some of these? She's like, I don't have pockets, so I'm good. We didn't talk that whole night. I mean, we're just sitting there, our daughters, like, we're watching TV, eating, and I'm like, hey, you know your mom's crazy, right? And she's like, did you do your homework, or you don't want to be dumb like your dad? And then your daughter's just like, are y'all lunatics? So I'm laying on the couch, and my wife just came over, and she kisses me goodnight, and then she went to bed. And that was it, you know? That was like, I felt like it was her sorry, I guess. But she didn't say it. And so I was like laid there and I'm just thinking about it. And you think about it a lot because you're like, all right. Because you learn the longer you get married, sometimes it's like, just let stuff go. You know, who cares? And the next morning I get up and I kind of still wanted to talk about it. Because we didn't talk all night, you know? So I went into her, I was like, look, I got to tell you, I mean, it's just not what it means, you know? And that got it going real good. And I felt so good about this argument, you know. I thought about it all night. I was like, you got this one in the bag, man. You should bring it back up. I'm not trying to date her anymore. I'd like to win a fight. We're going to die together. I almost woke her up in her sleep. That's how much I was so excited. I almost just started shaking her going, it's not what it means. Our marriage almost ended in one fell swoop. So I was just honest with her. And I set her down. I said, look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now. And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, she'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead. Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point. I mean, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I got it to say. I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it. I go to church growing up. I grew up in Tennessee. And we went to church. I actually tried to play basketball for my high school team, but I got cut. So I had to play for my church because the church cannot cut you. They have to let you play. They could cut you. You'd be pretty bad if they're like, look, we think you're good, but Jesus does not think you're that good. He is our captain. So church ball was a lot different because we played half court, no 3-point line. We played on carpet. That's your first sign. It's not going to count. And they didn't even give us a basketball. We didn't have a basketball. We would just stand there and play on honesty. You'd be like, I just made it. It was like, oh, that's a good shot. You're really good. I stole it. I forgive you for stealing it. It was moral points. It counts later. It's great having a kid. I've been married for 7 years, and so now we just have a 1-year-old daughter. So it's getting pretty serious, and
This is what took it over the edge. We were living in New York when my daughter was to be born, but I'm from Tennessee, so we flew home and my daughter was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. So I was like, you start where we start. All right. How about that? It's wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, I told my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to see anything. All right. It's going to be gross. I wish it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now, doctors are like, do you want to deliver the baby? Why don't you do most of it? They just pull the baby out, and then they just tell you, here, cut the umbilical cord. They just tell you to do it, real fast. I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part, and they were like, that's not right. I was like, oh, maybe, you should jump in. You did go to doctor school for this. I don't know why I'm doing minor surgery right now. And then they just hand you your baby, and they're like, all right, we'll see you. And that's when you're like, I'd really like your help now. I need you to live with me or something like that. The first question I asked, they should have probably kept, I was holding her, I was like, how much do you feed it? I bet it's a lot. It seems like it'd be a lot. It sounded like I was buying a hamster at a pet store. The big thing they tell you, the number one thing they say, they're really big on they're like, whatever you do, let's just try not to shake this baby. That's the number one goal. And they tell it to you, they're almost like, obviously you're going to want to shake the baby. But it would be so awesome if you just did not shake this baby. That would be the best. And then they showed me a video of a guy that's here's what I do instead of shaking my baby. He was like, I take walks, for instance. I walk 70 miles a day or something. I walk a lot. Then I signed a certificate I was in kindergarten that said, all right, I promise, I swear to God, I won't shake the baby. Quit asking me about this. I've never heard the word shake so much in my entire life. That's all we talked about. And the first night we got her home, she was like, you're delirious. You're just confused and tired. And she was crying for 6 hours. And I was sitting there, I was like, wait, are we supposed to shake this baby? Is this when we do it? This seems like when you would do it. But we didn't shake her, so it's cool. We have rocked her aggressively, but got real drunk and then locked myself out of my hotel room completely naked. Yeah, I've done that in my 2-year-old daughter's lifetime. So if she hears this and she's like, oh, was that college? It's like, no, that's when you were the most dependent on me. I'm from Tennessee, and I went to college in Tennessee. I went to community college for 1 year, and I don't have one credit to show for it, which is worse than not going. If you don't go, you're like, I didn't even want to go. I wanted to go, and they didn't even give me a credit. I had to take remedial classes, which remedial basically means they're like, look, we have no idea how your high school let you leave, all right? We are shocked about it, actually. We're going to look into it. Until then, here are some classes you can take that affect no one. I took math as a class. Literally, I bought a book that said math on it in college. I took reading as well. Yeah, reading. I drove to that class. You know what that's like? I've driven to a reading class. Not even an immigrant. I'm from here. I should have knocked that out years ago. Reading, they're just impressed you made it. They're just like, look who made it today, buddy. You're like, well, you guys. So I was in Florida, and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back. And I go to the trunk of my car, and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn. I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry. And he was like, oh, sorry. Honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know.
He was looking for his elderly wife and saw me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. I had a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not, he's like, I don't know, that's a dead ringer for Olivia. And I wake up the next day and my flight is gone. I mean, I've missed it. And it's not like it's at the gate. It is in Austin, Texas. They are checking into their hotel. So I go to get my phone to get another flight, and I've lost my phone. The night before, I've lost it. So now I don't have my phone. So I have to go buy a ticket over the counter like it's the 50s. And when you walk up to a counter, they don't expect you to be buying a ticket like that. I got up there, and they were like, all right. I was like, I would like one ticket to Austin, Texas, please. And they didn't have a flight, so I have to do that at every terminal. I just have to keep going. One ticket to Austin, Texas, please. I finally found a flight, but the girl behind the counter, she's never sold a ticket like that. She's like, I've worked here for 10 years, and no one's ever done this. And she goes, I don't know how to do it. And she went back and got, I mean, probably the oldest lady I've ever seen. I think she's there for just this reason. Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way. When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. Last year, my dad he's doing a show. He does these magic shows in prisons. And during the show, one of the inmates just stands up and says, I know your son, which is probably not the best place as a father to hear that. Just like, I know your boy. He keeps his mouth shut. He's good people. So, my dad, he goes, hey, he's like, all right. He goes, how do you know my son? And he was one of the guys that carried me up those stairs that day. I was 12 years old, and we've never known who carried me up those stairs. And then his brother saw me on the Tonight Show and was like, that's that kid that we carried up those stairs that day. So it's pretty crazy. And so since then, I've been actually bringing him out to shows, and I'm going to bring him out tonight. And no, he's not here. He's in prison. But, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Trust me. Look, he would love to be here. Trust me. I mean, yeah, he'd kill to be here, to be honest. But marriage fights are great because they're all very dumb. I would say 90% of them are dumb. 10% the cops show up. But we got in a fight once over chocolate milk. We didn't talk for 24 hours. What happened is I brought chocolate milk home, and she was like, why did you bring it home? And I was like, you're supposed to drink it after you work out. She was like, that's not true. And I was like, well, there's a commercial on TV. They probably looked into it more than you did. So I decided to listen to them. And she said, that's just the milk people pushing chocolate milk. And I was like, you don't even know what that statement means. You don't know if there's milk people. And I think chocolate milk's doing fine. I don't think they're sitting on barrels of it. And they're like, we got to make up a lie. We got to get rid of this chocolate milk. She went to college, all right, and I did not. But she did not study chocolate milk. When is it good and not good for you? To be fair to her, though, I do not work out. So it's very nerve-wracking when a baby has to get a shot because, like, they just don't get it, you know? Like, she's just looking at us like this day is going pretty unbelievable. And I don't see how it's going to go wrong. As she's looking at the needle, and then you're like, it's about to go way wrong. So the needle goes in, she gets a shot. So we go to grab her, right, because we're ready for her to start crying. She blows us away. She doesn't cry at all. Like, we're just, like, baffled. We're, like, sitting there, like, I can't believe this. Like, this is unbelievable. My wife was, like, emotional. She was like, oh, maybe this is a sign she's going to be, like, a strong girl, like, a powerful woman. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Maybe she's going to be that. We all should think about, like, maybe she's going to be a psycho. Like, who doesn't cry when they get a shot? Have you thought about that at all? That's what I'm worried about. Who's fine with pain already at 9 months old? When you have a baby, you want them to be healthy and not a serial killer. And I don't know which path we're going down right now. I know in 20 years, I'm either going to be like, look, telling her, like, we love you and we're happy you've accomplished everything. Or I'm going to be on the news being like, we love you and you need to turn yourself in right now. Right this second. I knew that shot meant something. Ever get in those fights, like you'll be at home, like you and your spouse, and you guys are not talking to each other, and you're in the house together, no kids, the house is quiet, and you just stay on opposite ends, and then you pass each other in the hallway. That's like the funniest part of it, because you don't live in a mansion, you have one hallway.
and you just didn't time it out right, and you just have to walk by each other like strangers. You're like, oh, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, no, go ahead. She'll be watching TV. I'm like, ma'am, are you watching this? I couldn't tell. I was going to change it if you weren't watching it. It's the silent treatment. The silent treatment is, it's a very common thing. Everybody knows what it is. I think women are just born knowing it. I don't think you're taught it. I don't think it's like, my mom did it and her mom. It's an instinct that's in us all, that we all just know. Here's what made me think of that. I rewatched the movie Sixth Sense. And I'm not trying to do a Sixth Sense joke. This is a 20-year-old movie. I also have to spoil it, but it's 20 years old. So if you don't know by now, I don't know what to tell you, you know? And don't be like, we're going to watch it tonight. We're going to go to Blockbuster on the way home. So he's dead the whole time. And I don't know. I mean, if you haven't seen it, it's a pretty big part of it. But for those that have, think about when you watched it. When we all saw this movie for the first time, none of us knew he was dead. That was the biggest surprise we've ever seen in our life, you know? We just thought his wife wasn't talking to him for like a year. That made more sense to us than him possibly being dead.
Out of all the years, this has been the best one. I mean, there's aliens. They said there's UFOs. And no one cares. What kind of year could you have that you could sneak in? Hey, everybody, on the news. At the end of the news, they go, there's UFOs. And you're like, oh, do they have COVID? And you're like, no. Like, I don't know. They won't get tested. But
I went into one. I was trying to buy a hammock. So I go in. I go back to where I imagine the hammocks live. And I went up to this guy and I was like, hey, man, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, what's a hammock? And it threw me off enough that I was like, am I saying it wrong? I was like, I think I'm saying it wrong, because you know what it is. And I was like, is it Hammett with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? It's like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this?
our daughter still sleeps in our bed, too. And parents don't like that when you say it. They're like, you got to keep them outside. Don't look at them. It's my fault. So we had a kid late in life. We have one kid. And so we're kind of hitting all the sights. And I would be, when I get home, travel a bunch and I get home, I'd want us to all sleep in the bed together. And I've kind of built up a habit now, and it's happening. So it's tough, though, because kids don't know how to sleep. I mean, she makes king bed feel like a twin. I mean, I'm on the edge. When I sleep alone in a hotel, I have to sleep with my head on the nightstand. It's the only way I know how to go to bed. She gets sideways, upside down. If you woke up upside down tomorrow, you would go to the hospital. She's also apparently going through menopause because she's the hottest human being that's ever lived. I mean, I'm freezing at night. She just kicks all the covers off, and you're like, yeah, no, you go ahead. It's your bed. We're lucky to be in it. We have a daughter now, and so it's getting, 2-year-old daughter. It's getting pretty serious between me and my wife now. And I was living in New York when my daughter was to be born. She was not born here, though. We flew home. She was born in Tennessee. I didn't want her to be born in New York. I don't need her growing up thinking she's better than me. I was like, you start where we start, all right? No one gets a leg up in this family. It was wild. I remember on the way to the hospital, I was telling my wife, I was like, look, I don't want to see anything, all right? It's going to be gross. I wished it was like the 50s when they didn't even let men in the hospital. But it's not. Now doctors are like, do you want to deliver the baby? Why don't you do most of it? I didn't take a class. They just act like I'm the guy that cuts umbilical cords at the hospital. I almost cut the wrong part. I don't know what it is. And they're like, that's not right. I was like, why don't you do it? You did go to doctor school for this. Why am I doing minor surgery right now? I mean, is it cheaper? If it's not cheaper, I don't want to do it. All right? I always have... I got other buddies that are getting married now, so they always want to come talk to me. So, I always tell them, they're like, what's it like? I'm like, here's what it is. I'm just telling everybody. Marriage is like, you ever go to a concert and you see a mosh pit and you're like, you know what? I'm going to go get in that mosh pit. But then once you get in it, you're like, I do not want to be in this mosh pit. at all. I am going to leave and go get some beer. Then the mosh pit's like, didn't you drink last night? All right, mosh pit, why don't you get off my back and let me live my life? I just want to buy stuff and her not know I bought it. And that's so hard. I think if I knew the name of my bank, I could do it. But I gotta go through her to get that information. I poke around. I'm like, if I had a bank, what bank do you think I would go to? I also, once a week, walk into a bank and go, hello, is my money in this bank? So I sit on it for like 6 months, like a long time. We finally get in a fight. I don't remember what the fight was about. Nothing. I don't know. It wasn't laundry. I remember that. So I'm losing this fight. And so in my head, I'm like, this is it. I mean, I was sad to see it go. That's how good I felt. I felt bad for her. I mean, I was like, she thinks she's winning this fight. I'm about to drop a bomb on her right now. So just out of nowhere, I just go, I do my own laundry. And I mean, I said it like, they don't make them like this no more. I was shocked that it started a second fight I never saw coming. My wife's always around too. I feel just always like near, you know, especially about home now. It's like I married a cat that I'm like, you just always on me. If I do if I go to the bathroom, she's like, I'm gonna paint the bathroom door while you're in there. I'm like, you couldn't do it later? No, I had all the time to do it. I thought I'd wait till you went in. And that's when I was gonna start. If I eat something she doesn't approve of, she just pops up, man. I mean, I'll try to sneak it. I could eat an Oreo cookie in the attic at 3 a.m. and I would bet my life a light would cut on and she'd be like, what are you doing up here? And if I questioned it, it was like, what are you doing up here? She's like, I'm always up here. This is when I do my attic stuff. She put Life 360 on my phone. That's so they can track you even when they're not near you. You might not even know you have it on your phone. It's worse than what the government's doing. I would rather the government track me than her. She just calls me, why are you at Krispy Kreme donuts? I'm like, look, I'm not gonna live like this, all right? If I want donuts, I'm not gonna lock my phone in a gym locker and go pay cash for donuts. I've done it, but I'm not gonna do it every time. God forbid I go to a store she has a coupon for. I mean, I'll be walking into the parking lot just to get a call. Don't buy anything, I have a coupon. I'm like, do you think I'm going to come home and get that coupon? Is that what you think's about to happen? I'm going to try to pay more now that you called. I don't even know if Target allows that, but I'm going to try to negotiate up on this toothpaste. You better hope they don't ask me to round up. I'm rounding up. I hate coupons so much, and she's addicted to them. She will not let me leave. Like, I got a coupon. I'm like, I just feel so stupid. I'm buying deodorant, and I'm like, I don't have all the money, but I'm almost there. But I do have this coupon. One day, I hope to be able to pay full price. We are saving up as much as we can. The end of the night comes. Everybody's drunk. Children, adults. It's across the board. Fight breaks out. We hear some of y'all fight. And I mean, you're sitting there. You got a 50-50 shot. It's not your side of the family. We get over there, it's 100% our side. It's my dad's aunt and an uncle, both rolling around on the ground. They're in their late 70s. He wanted to leave, she did not. So they thought, let's just handle it in front of everybody. So we got to get him apart, and he starts fighting us. And he's a pretty good fighter, all right? He's punching women in public. You don't think he's handled some dudes in his lifetime? That ends the night. You know, you can't be like, all right, guys, let's calm. Let's cut the radio back on, find a good station. Tuesday is sadly divorced now. That did not work out. My dad's aunt and uncle, sadly, it did work out. They're still together. Me and my wife fight a lot, like normal fighting. It's easy to fight when you're married, I think. Marriage and prison are the two easiest places to start to fight. Everybody's really tense and on edge. No one remembers why they got there. My wife will get mad like when I hang out with my buddies. She's always like, oh, you always have so much fun with your friends. You always laugh with them a lot. You never laugh that much with me. It's like, yeah, I hang out with professional comedians. It's a pretty good time, Like, they make jokes, new jokes every day. She doesn't make jokes ever. She makes a lot of lists. She does do lists, though. Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, and you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just been like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. Always talk to me very easy too, or dumb. Like if I talk to a stranger, I can always feel it. And I think it's my eyes. I have big eyes, And so I just get a lot of like, you still with me, man? And I'm just sitting there like, yeah, I'm listening. And he goes, all right, I don't feel like you could have been anywhere, She runs everything. She does stuff, doesn't tell. We got a new roof. And I did not know that. A whole new roof. I found out from my neighbors. They were like, how's that new roof going? I go, I don't know what you're talking about. And they go, you didn't know you got a new roof? I go, no, I did not. And then I had to go get hurt. I was like, you gotta go talk to them about that new roof you didn't tell me about. I look like an idiot out there. I get it. It's for our kids and their kids, and we want to make sure they have a good earth and their environment and stuff. We don't want to have a bad earth. And we don't want them to be mad at us and yell at us. But I don't think they will, because I don't think we get mad. I don't ever see litter on the ground and call my grandmother and be like, where do you get off? I don't know how you show your face anymore, all right? It's cloudy today. Is that because you smoked on planes? Probably. Why'd you have to smoke that high? Where do you think that smoke was going? Have you ever been to a Starbucks, like inside, like if you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order before you're even to the front? Like you'll be in the back, they're like, what do you want? You're like, oh, I would like to wait till I get right in front of you. Yeah, when you see everybody looked at me when you said that? I didn't care for that. So how about we do it like a regular, normal business, And you let me do it right in front of you. Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street. Just been like, we're just trying to get your order started in case you ever come here one day. It is very exciting to be here. Not all shows, though, are like this. I did a show in a prison once. All the way in it. We went in it. There's few more people than this. We go in, let's say like you guys are like the inmates. So I'm like sitting here, I'm doing my dumb jokes. None of them work. Every joke I have involves being outside in the past 30 years. Like nothing's relatable. I'm like, traffic's crazy. Do you guys remember? Who remembers traffic? An inmate gets up and starts walking towards me. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Like I've seen movies, like he's going to use me to break out. So I don't want to point at him, but I am trying to draw. I'm like, the weather's been like pretty crazy. Should he be walking up like that? Turns out he's just going to the bathrooms. They're right behind me. He's a good guy. I judged him on what he was wearing and where we were at. It was my fault. He goes in, the bathrooms they're like open. So I'm against this like brick wall and I'm like standing, it goes like halfway up. So it's me, a brick wall, and then the urinals. And he just comes out and then comes and pees at picks the one right behind me. And so it's just me and him just standing there. He's peeing, I'm like trying to talk. And he just pees without even kind of a problem. It was the most confidence I've ever seen in my entire life. I thought, whatever you think this guy did it, all right? That's not, an innocent man doesn't pee like that. That's a guy, he's not getting out. I took social media off my phone. I have Instagram still on there. I feel like it's still okay. It's like it's safe. Twitter's like I feel like it's just like celebrities telling you you're the worst. That's all it is all day. Whether it's like the presidential election, everybody's furious, and then there's a big pipeline thing. Remember that? They're like, we got to stop this pipeline. We're like, yeah, we do. I don't even know where this is at. I couldn't find it. Right now, I don't know what was in the pipe. I don't know if the pipe was above ground, but it was like, we got to stop. People have stuff there, and you can't be throwing pipes. You can't just throw pipes everywhere you want to throw pipes, And it just... I follow Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm a big fan. Just want to see what that guy's life is like. He tweets nothing fun out. I've learned that. He tweeted out 100 million sharks get killed a year by people. Just threw that up. No solution. I'm just at home in Tennessee, nowhere near an ocean. So many sharks. If you told me to guess how many sharks were alive, I would never have guessed 100 million. I don't know, a million? I don't know. Like, who knows how many sharks there are? I tweeted back. I was like, all right, dude, I won't kill any sharks. I don't know. Is that what you wanted out of this? I won't do it. I've never even been near a situation where I thought I might have to kill this shark. Never even met a guy that's pet a shark, but I'm not getting involved now. Facebook is more, that's your like friends telling you you're the worst. It's more local. No one has a good day on Facebook. It's everybody's worst days of their lives. And you'll be like the first thing you look at. You like wake up and you like cut it on and then just be like, do you want to see a murder video? You're like, I don't at all. I just woke up. I'm just trying to see whose birthday it is, And they're just like, well, we already started playing it. So, and you're like, all right, I guess I'll watch that. My wife gets mad because I don't like any of her photos. She's like, why don't you like any of my photos, And it's like, is this not enough, us living together and stuff? I don't... And I did like it. When we took it, I said I like it. I told you I like it. I looked at it. I'm in it. I'm in the photo. There's not much more I can do with this photo. We've been together my entire life. Since we started dating when I was like 21. I'm 37 now. And I went from my mom to her. So I don't even know what it feels like to not have some lady be like, I don't know if I would do that, And now we have a daughter, so I'll never know. I'll never know. We get in fights, still. And when you're married for a long time, fighting is just, it can happen, it's open 24 hours, basically, at any time. We got in a fight recently at 3 a.m. We woke up to get in this fight. We have a dog, and our dog, freaks out when it thunders. And so we have sedatives to give her because there's only so many times you can tell a dog it's just thunder before you're like, she's not getting it, And you're like, just take this, all right? So I woke up, I had to wake my wife up, and I was like, hey, where are the sedatives at? And she was like, they're at the top of the cabinet. So I go get them. I looked at the bottle, and the bottle said they were expired. So I had to wake my wife back up, and I was like, hey, these say they're expired. And she was like annoyed. She was like, they're not expired, all right? They're new pills in an old pill bottle. And I was like, all right, I should have thought of that. That's my fault. I mean, we have people come to our house all the time and they get milk and they're like, is this milk expired? And I have to go, that's new milk in an old milk jug. Are you the stupidest person I've ever met? Why would you not assume that's what it is? That's roughly what I told her. It wasn't as fun as that. And then she goes all in and tells me it doesn't matter because dog medicine can't even expire. Which I was like, you've never even heard a rumor about that. You don't know that. We don't know any dog medicine people. I know who she knows. We don't know one dog medicine maker that's texting her like, hey, we're doing some pretty big things at the dog medicine factory. I wanted to let you know first, but we've invented medicine that can't expire. So feel free to tell your husband at 3 a.m. We do have a daughter as well. We took her to Disneyland when she was 2, and people told us that was a mistake. We didn't ask anybody, but they were happy to tell us. And they were like, you're just wasting money, you know, she's not going to remember it. And I was like, I don't know. She believes in Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse is like real to her. It's like fun to see her get excited, you know. Should I just lock her in a closet and be like, do you remember yesterday? No? Well, until you start remembering things, I'm not going to waste any of my money on you, all right? We're trying to discipline her too, and it's hard to discipline kids nowadays. You know, you can't do it. You can't spank them. You can't talk about it in a microphone for sure. So it's like, what do? You got to hope it works out. Spanking got like blown out of proportion because like you would see like a video of a lady like fighting her kid in a Walmart parking lot, and they were like, no, you're not supposed to spank. You're like, that was a regular fight. That's not like what we're talking about. I was spanked. My generation was. It was fine, you know. You ever talk to really old generations? They just act like they were beat with bats. They say stuff to you like, I don't know, that doesn't sound like that should have been happening. You should have called the police or something. Like, the police would hit us as well. Everybody was hitting us. It's fun to be back home, though. I got my 20-year high school reunion is this year, and I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty invested. I didn't go to college, so this is like the last group of people I met. So I mean, I cannot wait. I love it. I went to the 10-year, loved it. Suggested a 15, no one wanted it. Finally, the 20 is here. My buddy told me, he's like, I'm going to lose weight for our 20-year reunion. And that always like feels, you know, you're like, why don't you lose it for the people that were in your life every day for the past 20 years? You've made your wife stare at your moose body for 15 years. Why don't you tone it up for her a little bit? He's like, no, I'll just save it for the people I hate. I'm going as is. Just, you know, this is what happened. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. I didn't work out then. I didn't start when I left. So I'm just seeing how it's going to go. I do zero working out. Not even, I mean, it's not like you're like, whoa, wow. Like it's like, yeah, we figured that. Every hotel I go to, I ask if they have a gym. I don't even have clothes that I could work out in. There's no way. I'm like, is it 24 hours? I was going to start tonight at midnight. So I was wondering if that's... What I've learned, what's easier than working out is just tell people that you used to weigh 300 pounds. That's a lot. They don't know, you know? So I've never weighed 300 pounds, but I look pretty amazing for a guy that used to weigh 300 pounds. You're like, yeah, I got tired of being tired, all right? You know? Today's my cheat day, obviously, but normally I'm pretty strict. I just don't eat anything healthy. I like apples, but I only like pre-cut apples. I won't eat a whole one, you know? I'm not a horse, all right? So could you guys do some work over there at the apple factory, you know, however apples get here? I've watched a lot of the documentaries that try to make you eat better. Like I watched Fed Up, and it's about all the food that I eat every day. There was nothing in it that I haven't had recently. You know that saying, like, I haven't had that in forever? I haven't said that in forever. There's nothing I haven't had. Airheads, that's usually something like, oh, are they still doing good? Yeah, they're doing great. They got more colors now. It's pretty fun, you know? I go to too much, like, chain stuff. Like, that's, I can't think outside of, like, going to, like, a chain place. And they mess up all the time. But I still just go back. I'll go to McDonald's, and I'll have, like, the nerve to be, like, in the drive-thru, like, and be like, hey, guys, I said no onions, and this has onions. And they just look at me like, you're too old to be here, man. Don't come here. This is not a real restaurant, all right? I'm 11 years old. That guy's 90. Go to, like, you live near here. Go to a regular place. I had a whole issue at a Starbucks. I went into Starbucks, ordered iced coffee with milk, nothing crazy, you know.
And the guy like looked at me weird. You know, like when you're like get something in your head, you're like, I'm pretty sure he doesn't know what I said. But you're like too far in. You're both touching the credit card. So you just got to go, all right, let's see what he thinks he heard. And I go to the end of the counter, and he gives me milk with ice in it. I had to ask him. I go, what is that? He goes, milk with ice in it. I was like, what do you think? Do I look like a psycho to you, dude? I've never ordered milk publicly in the history of my life. I've never once in my life been out and thought, you know what I could go for right now? A cup of milk. I'd love to do that. I'd love a cup of milk. I'd like to drink it out of a straw, something else I've never done. Let's do that, and then let's put ice in it. Let's do something I didn't even know you could do. Let's do all that in front of all these people I don't know. And it was a Starbucks that was like in a Target. It wasn't even its own Starbucks. It was a Starbucks that's like, we don't really do everything. And I was like, do you do milk with ice in it by any chance? Is that something? I just go to all of them. And I still go. I go to, everybody messes up. I want them to do so much better. I went to Walmart. I go there. I'm fine with them, you know. I'm a Walmart guy. I'm like, that's where I'm at. I went into one. I was trying to, and Walmart's getting a little like, sometimes when you go in there, some of the people that work there are like, some of them, I don't even know. You'll be talking to them. I'm like, I don't even know if you work here, if you're a customer. Like, it's 50-50. But they're willing to help, which is nice. I went into one. I was trying to buy a hammock. So I go in. I go back to where I imagine the hammocks live, and I went up to this guy and I was like, "Hey man, do you guys sell hammocks?" And he was like, "What's a hammock?" And it threw me off enough that I was like, "Am I saying it wrong?" I was like, "I think I'm saying it wrong because you know what it is." And I was like, is it Hammett with a T? Does that sound right? Like, do you guys sell hammocks? And he was like, we're out of hammocks. We're out of them. It's hammock season. And I left, went to my car, Googled where to buy a hammock. And Google was like, do you mean hammock? I was like, I sure do, Google. Where were you at during all of this? The other embarrassing part of that is, so it happened, and then I called like a comic buddy of mine to tell him the story, and I was like, this is funny, right? But then I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think if I tell people I was buying a hammock, is that going to come off like I'm bragging? Like, for some reason, in my head, that's just like a wealthy purchase. Like, that's a hammock at Walmart. Like, an audience would be like, whoa, all right, I didn't know we were just hearing about how good you're doing. Man, what's it like to have two trees that close together? Is it nice? I heard it looks nice. I've seen pictures. I've had my one like fancy purchase. I had LASIK surgery, and we were living in New York, so I had it. It was in Manhattan. Got a deal on it, so that helps knock it down. It worked, you know. I can't see this side of the room, but besides that, this side I see almost too good. And no, it was fine. And they did a couple things that were weird. Besides the deal I got, they want to show you the video, like before you have it. They're like, here, watch eye surgery, and you're like, just do it. I don't want to watch. Like, I trust. We're in a building. This seems like a real thing, so just go. If I was doing that out of some guy's van, I might ask that guy for a video, but you know, be normal. And the other thing, they didn't make me bring anybody. And then I was like, should I bring someone to take me home? And they're like, no, most people can see. I was like, you said most. You sure? It's not a big deal. I'll tell someone where I'm at. They're like, no, don't. Did you tell anybody where you're at? Don't tell anybody. So I go in, they give you a Valium, you go back and you do it, then you get done, they give you those big sunglasses, and then I'm on a Valium, they're like, you good? You're like, yeah, this is like the funnest surgery ever. This has been a fun day, to be honest. And they're like, can you see? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, so I go down. I'm in Manhattan. So we get out and I start walking to go to the subway, get a few blocks away. And then my eyes start hurting so bad. And I just want to keep them shut. You don't want to open them. And so I'm like, I can't get home. So I get my phone. I'm like blinking. And I get to my wife and I call her. And I was like, you got to come get me. I can't see, And I was like, and you should have come too, by the way. All right. Like, why are you not here? So I was like, you got to come find me. I don't know where I'm at. I've made turns. So I was like, just go back to that place and then just expand your search around buildings until you find me. And I just stood I put my hand on a building and I just stood because I was afraid I would drift out in the street and just be just shuffling. And next thing I know, I'm in the middle of the road, just big sunglasses, which wouldn't be that different for New York, and so I'm just standing, I stood with my hand like this for 30 minutes. I mean, we were to the point if anybody confidently just walked up, they could have taken me home. Next person that goes, let's go, I was living with them for the rest of my life. It's fun doing comedy because you get to travel so much. I fly a bunch, and it never gets easy when you fly. You just think, every plane you're on is going to go down. It's not in a dark, it's never relaxing. I had, I've got on a plane once, and, you ever get on and just look at everybody on it, and it just looks like a group that would go down in a plane crash. For some reason, you're like, I feel like I've seen all of us before. I had a pilot tell us right before we took off that he was retiring, and this was his last flight. You're like, all right, why don't you just say that when we land, dude? It's not like we're gonna be different people. We're the same people. He's basically just either way, this is my last flight. So, all I can tell you is I'm not flying again after that. I'm trying to get better. When you travel now, you go to different cities. It's to actually go explore the town and see stuff. I went to Wilmington, North Carolina, and yeah, a couple of us. All right, and they have a big battleship there, and it's in it looks like it's a river because you can see across. It doesn't look big, but it's probably part of the ocean. It's one of those where you're could I drink that water? Could I not? I don't know. But you can't ask that. You can't ask someone how water works. So I didn't even go on it, but it's there. I just wanted you to not think I didn't see it if you go. But I looked up some other stuff to do. They have a thing there called Cape Fear Serpentarium. And it's just a guy's house, and he has a bunch of snakes, lizards, and a crocodile just in his house. He has the world record for being bitten by a viper snake. It's 7 times, which is it's a record no one is trying to get. It's so many times. He was bitten 3 times, and then 4 more times after that. That's how many times he was bitten. 3's a ton, and then 4 more after is just too many. But I was like, I gotta go see this. This is gonna be amazing. So I go, I walk in. Right when you walk in, he's got a lobby set up. And in the lobby, he has 2 parrots and then a bunch of anti-government posters. That's he just has those things. It's 2 parrots and a lot of stuff on chemtrails. He's basically just this is what I would love to talk to you about. And you're I just want to see some snakes, man. He's all right, but maybe later could I corner you and talk to you about it? And you're I don't know, let's see how the snakes go. So I went and I paid. It was $9, obviously cash only in a place like that. And so I give him my $9. I go up. First snake I see is a gaboon viper. It's a crazy venomous snake. And there's a story written out about how venomous it is. And the story was that these 2 kids broke into the Washington National Zoo in the early 1980s to steal a gaboon viper for whatever reason. So they get it, they put it in a trash bag. When they're walking out, they have the trash bag over their shoulder as if they forgot what they just did. The snake bites through the trash bag because it's a 1980s trash. It's not like a Glad one now, This was when trash bags were not doing good. So it bit the kid. The kid went into a coma for 4 days, and then it was that's all we know. We don't know what happened. And you're that's the whole reason I'm even reading this, to see what... Did he die? Is he stronger? Are you him? What's the rest of the story? So if you ever go
and you should go. If you ever go, 3 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, he feeds these things. So I looked at my watch. It was 3 p.m. I was like, all right, we'll go watch these things eat. So the first snake they go to feed is the black mamba. It's another crazy venomous snake that should not be in America outside of a zoo, especially not at a guy's house that hates America. So we're like, all right, we got to go see this. So we get down there. He puts a chicken wired fence around him. So if the snake gets out, he'll just get out of that fence pretty quick. The fence has holes in it that I would describe as a little bit bigger than a black mamba. And I mean, we're leaning on it. We're getting kids up against it. We're like, no, you get up here. Push, their kids' faces are against it. So we all stand around. He's a bucket of dead mice. He grabs a mouse. He throws it in there. He eats it. We all cheer, and then we move on. Next one we go to is 12-foot anaconda. This snake is huge. He props open the glass cage with a 2x4. That's how big it is. Props it up. No chicken wired fence. It's non-venomous. Worst case scenario, we're all going to wrestle this snake. So we're all standing there around. He gets his bucket back out, but this time it's got dead rabbits in it. And they're the biggest rabbits I've ever seen in my... I would have paid $9 to see what that rabbit's life was like. Just to see that rabbit drive up that day. He gets these giant, two-handed tongs that they look like they're for this. So he grabs a rabbit. He kind of steps back. He's going to make the snake come out and get it like he's hunting. So it's the rabbit, it's him, children, and then us. I mean, no, he's the only employee there. So we stand there. Luckily, the snake comes out. He gets the rabbit. He's constricts it. It falls to the ground. He lifts it. He puts it back in. He goes, well, Easter Bunny's dead. Makes that joke for the kids. Yeah. And we waited for him to say he was joking. He did not. Yeah, he stared at the kids harder, almost to assure it. That's what it is. Then he goes, all right, you have permission to touch the snake. No one's asking. We're walking away. No one was like, I bet this is when we can pet him. They're leaving, and he makes the kids pet him. And they most don't want to touch the snake. Most are petting the rabbit he was eating. It was like the 30s. There's no rules in this place. It's like riding a ski lift. You ever been on a ski lift and halfway up you're like, hey, my bar didn't lock. Should it have locked? I don't do this ever. So the last one is the crocodile. We go to the crocodile. It's a 10-foot crocodile. This crocodile has been staring out at his cage at everybody. He's trying to remember you for supporting this guy. He's like, I'll find you one day. I mean, if he was in here right now with a hat on, I wouldn't be surprised. That's how nervous I am when I go out. So we all stand around. The crocodile's there. He unlocks the door. Door's unlocked. He gets his rabbit bucket, and he grabs a rabbit, and he's going to just open the door and throw it in there and eat it and watch it. He grabs the rabbit. He gets it right here. The crocodile sees the rabbit and comes forward, hitting the door, which is unlocked and we learn also broken. Hits the door. The crocodile's momentum just takes him out into the carpet they were staying with us. The kid, there's a 10-foot crocodile just on the floor. So everybody just starts losing it. It's like a Godzilla movie. People are just running. Everybody's crying. People are crying real hard. Just bawling. Everybody's dead behind you. You just assume it. You don't even look. Some lady was like, my husband. I was like, your husband's gone, lady. He's gone. We shouldn't be here. There's so many signs that say we shouldn't be here. And we just leave. Because the cobra was next. You're like, I don't know if the cobra's in a cage. Who knows where this cobra's at? He might have been watching this with us. This is a real story. And here's my proof. I have proof to this story. There's a TripAdvisor review from that day. It's not my review. I'm not a review guy. But someone reviewed it. And you can look at it. Go to TripAdvisor. Type in Wilmington, North Carolina, Cape Fear Serpentarium. When you get there, go to the reviews. They have 4 stars to 1 stars. If you want to see what I'm talking about, I would start at the 1 stars. They're all pretty fun to read, though. 4 stars loved it. They think the place is great. 3 and 2 stars, they're usually pretty hung up on the propaganda in the lobby. They can't get past that. And then just go to the 1 star that says, crocodile got out of the cage. It's the best 1-star review I've ever heard in my life. Just the most, oh, did that poster hurt your feelings? Did a crocodile get out when you were there? Because he got out with us, and we didn't think he should have been out with us.
So 1 star. All right, thank you guys so much.
I'm gonna go back to school with her, like kind of like not physically go back to school, but like when she brings like homework home, I think I need a whole nother run through. Like I need one more. Like I don't remember any of it, so I needed to be like, what are they doing and stuff? I don't know. She's gonna go to make sure she goes to college. I did not go to college. I went to a community college. I went for 1 year. I don't even have a credit, so my loan was $40. I just paid cash. I just gave the teacher cash. I was like, this is cool, and he was like, yeah, it's more than enough. I took remedial classes. That's why none of it counted. Remedial is basically when they're like, look, we really don't understand why your high school let you leave, and we're shocked about it. We're going to look into it. But until then, here are some classes you can take that affect nobody. Like I took math as a class. Like I literally bought a book and the title said math on it. I took reading as well. Like reading. Like I drove to that class. I've driven to a reading class. I'm not even an immigrant. I'm from here. I should have knocked it out years ago. I think community college is basically just life kind of being like, look, you're probably going to do manual labor. All right? And that's fine. Because I would go to class, our teacher would be like, all right, everybody, so today's assignment is we're going to help me move. So
We get there, I'm wearing a button-down shirt, khaki pants, nothing crazy. I'm wildly overdressed. I look like I work there. Everybody else just has a football or basketball jersey on. My uncle, his daughters get married. He has his tuxedo jacket, pants, cummerbund, bow tie, no shirt. They forgot his shirt, and instead of waiting to go get it, he was like, let's do it without it, right? Like that's... And he doesn't have a body that's like, that's cool, man. He has a body that you're like, put your jacket on backwards, flip it around. Yeah. And then you see his back, and you're like, whew, all right, go back the regular way. Yeah, that's my fault. How's your back worse than your front? So in our neighborhood, we live in a cul-de-sac, which is very exciting because I grew up on a straight street, and I always dreamed of living in a cul-de-sac. You see them, and you're like, can you imagine being up in one of those? We do all the cul-de-sac stuff, like if anybody comes down there, we're like, what are you doing down? Just any car, we're like, you better get out of our cul-de-sac. We take our trash out one of the days. I don't know the day, but it's a day. We do it. There is one day. I know we forgot to take it out a couple weeks ago. That stress could break up a family. All week was like, everybody eat out of your hands. We had friends over like, put your trash in your pockets, take it to your homes. I don't read. Yeah, and I think that matters. Reading is the key to smart, I believe. And I don't do it. I think it's caught up to me. I want to do it. I like the idea of reading. I even buy books. But these books are the most words. And it's every book. You just open it and you're like, what are you talking about? And they don't let up. Every page, just more words. How about you put some blank pages in there? Why don't you let me get my head above water for 2 seconds? We took a trip to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale, and her and our daughter are flying from Nashville, where we live, and I'm flying from Detroit. We're meeting at Fort Lauderdale's airport. I have to find them when they land. So I called her because I was about to take off, and I was like, all right, what time do you guys leave? She goes, noon. And it was 11:30, and they're still at home. I was like, Laura, I don't know if you even know what an airport is. But if that plane was in our driveway, I don't think you could make it. And she said, that's what time we leave for the airport. Our flight's not till 1:30. And I was like, all right. So what do you think I wanted to know when I asked that? Is that what you thought the best time you could give me was a time that means nothing to nobody? What time did you go to bed last night? Just tell me that, and I'll just look up all the planes that land in Florida, and I'll guess which one I think you're on. She said, I'm sorry I don't talk the way you want me to talk. I'm like, I want you to talk like a regular person, all right? Like you've been around people before, you know? We didn't talk in Florida, I'll tell you that.
They did a thing on 60 Minutes about, like, do you know you can buy a tiger here? Like, in this, like, if you guys want to buy a tiger tonight, I could get you in touch with someone that does have tigers. I don't know if I can. It's a real, you can't buy a tiger here in the U.S. They did an undercover, like, reporting on it. And my favorite part was they asked the guy that sells tigers, they were like, so do you think it's like too easy to buy a tiger in this country? And the guy was like, yeah, it's like, it's way too easy. And you know what? That's why America's the best, all right? I didn't even know you could buy tigers. Like, I would have been embarrassed to ask. And then I come and find out I don't really have to jump through hoops if I do want to buy a tiger. It's not an all-day thing, it's like an hour. I'll be right back with our tiger. And everybody wants to take away guns, you know, it's like we gotta get everybody's guns. But then that makes me nervous, because I think if you take away guns from people, those are the exact same people that will buy tigers. And that's a much bigger problem, all right? Like, you're probably gonna be like, look, here's your gun back. And they're like, no, I'm good, dude. My tiger is way better than my gun. My gun missed all the time. My tiger rarely misses. Even if he does miss, it's just for a second, you know? Like, it's never... Like, if the guy dodges, he's like, your dumb tiger missed. It's like, I mean, it did not. It is right behind you now. And, yeah, he's pissed about it. So...
My parents are in their 60s. And when your parents hit their 60s, just so you know, you kind of realize that you go, all right, I'm in charge of this family now, you know? They don't give it up. They don't offer it away. They just start doing stuff that you're like, I don't, you know. We went to the store the other day, and we walked back to the car. We were in the store for an hour. We walked back. The driver's side door is wide open. He drove, opened the door to go inside, and just kept walking. He's been driving for 50 years. And I know cars are getting crazy, but one thing that stayed the same in all these 50 years is you got to open and shut that front door. My dad wore my mom's pants to a funeral. That was the day that I was like, look, we can't listen to this guy no more, you know? We got to go get him. He doesn't know what's happening. On a sadder note of sorts, we had to put our dog down recently. And it's a tough thing to do, you know. Nothing was wrong with her. I'm just really busy right now. And she was very sick. That was a joke, all right? That was a joke, and she would have loved that joke. So don't you worry about it. That's the type of humor she had. She was a rescue. It's not your labradoodle humor, all right? It's a little darker.
So, my dad goes to the doctor, and they were like, do you use Afrin? And he goes, no. And the doctor was like, I can see that you use it. I was just saying that. He goes, how long have you been using it? My dad said 5 years, which is a lie. But my mom was there, and she goes, how about 45 years? That's how long he's used it, 45 years. The back of the box says no more than 3 days. There's not a medicine on earth that tells you to give it a good 45-year run.
Look, to be honest, I've never taken care of the one dog we have, but two would be fun. Our dog sleeps in our bed, and someone told me you're not supposed to do that because you lose dominance over the dog. And I asked him, I said, what year do you think it is? These are all doodles. They're barely dogs. It's a person. They're people. This guy acts like it's 1980 when you kept the dog outside all year. Those you needed dominance over. You had a wolf in the backyard. Friends come over. You want to go outside? I wouldn't. Nick's a little person, very fun. We started comedy together. He very easy to trick. We were once at a coffee shop, and a guy was sitting near us with a big husky dog. And Nick just goes, "Hey, you think that's a wolf?" And I just said, "Yeah, I do think it's a wolf." They just passed a law that if you can catch a wolf, you can have it as a pet. And he goes, "Should I go ask him about it?" I was like, "I mean, absolutely. You know, I mean, he wants to talk about it. That's why he brought that wolf out here." And I watched him walk over to him and just go, "Excuse me, is that a wolf?" And the guy, I mean, he didn't really know how to answer it. He said, "What? I mean, you think I brought a wild wolf to this coffee shop?" And the wolf's just being cool about it? It's not losing its mind right now? Look, I want to defend all these kids with peanut allergies. I don't think they get defended. They get yelled at by adults. We got a lot of adults addicted to peanuts in this country. And they're furious. I haven't had peanuts in forever. You could take peanuts out of my life, I don't think I would notice. And we just have, adults are yelling at these children like they chose it. Like when they were born, the doctor goes, "Hey, do you want to be a nightmare to everybody?" Every scenario is life and death. You ever been on a plane? They just announce it. These planes just serve pretzels and be done with it. But they try every flight. If they can't, they just go, "All right, everybody, can't have peanuts today because that loser kid right there." And these grown-ups are booing them. I mean, they're just, the only reason I'm on the flight is for the peanuts. I don't even know where it's going. I was just honest with her. And I sat her down. I said, "Look, Annie's very sick and she's older and she's going to die soon. This happens, so just love her as much as you can right now." And she took it as good as a 5-year-old can take it. So the next day, I kind of told her again, you got to tell kids over and over again. I kind of kept telling her. I didn't want this to be a surprise. And then Annie surprised us by living 6 months longer. I mean, we were way off on when we thought she was going to die. But I already started telling my daughter I didn't want to stop and then have to start it again. So I just kept it up for 6 months. Every day I was like, "She'll die. All right, she will die. She will die. I will die. Your mom's dead." So I was in Florida. Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like you go inside and there's like a big long line and you'll be waiting and they try to take your order. I wanted to change shirts before I drove back. Like you'll be in the back. They're like, "What do you want?" You're like, "I would like to wait till I get right in front of you." Standing there, no shirt. You know when you see everybody looked at me when you said that? Walks up and goes, "Olivia." So how about we do it like a regular? I had to turn. I was like, "I'm sorry." You know, and he let me do it right in front of you. And he was like, "Starbucks is like waving cars down on the street." We're just trying to get your order started in case you ever. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw. Have you ever been to a Starbucks like inside? Like if you go inside and there's like a big long line, and you'll be waiting, and they try to take your order that he does not recognize. Like you'll be in the back, they're like, "What do you want?" You're like, "I would like to wait till I get right in front of you." Ringer for Olivia. Yeah, you know when you see everybody looked at me when you said that, I didn't care for that. Me or Olivia? To be honest, my parents have a real fat cat. People point it out. You know, they walk in, they're like, "Man, that cat's fat," and it feels rude. You know, like he doesn't speak English, but we do, so maybe don't say that. And they're just, you know, they're like, "What are y'all feeding this cat?" You're like, "Whatever you feed a cat, dude. I don't, like normal cat food stuff. We pour a bowl." And then they're like, "Well, y'all should do something." You're like, "What do you think we're not doing? Do you think he has a gym membership and we don't drive him to the gym? He's a cat. That's his gym membership. He's a cat." I watched him jump from the ground on top of the refrigerator. That's like if I jumped on top of a school bus from the ground. If I did that, you're not going to be like, "Well, you still could lose a little bit, you know? Just keep doing what you're doing." I'm not smart at all. I'm smart enough to like answer my 6-year-old's questions. If she's like, "Why is the sun hot?" I'm like, "'Cause it's on fire." That's a stupid question. I tell her that, all right, because I know that she'll be smarter than me next year and then just for the rest of her life. So I am really sticking it to her while I can. I know nothing about like adult stuff that you're supposed to know about. Global warming, that's one that everybody yells at you about. And they're like, "You better do something." I'm like, "I'm so tired of it. Let's do it." I'm like, I barely made it out of high school. I don't really know how rain works. So why don't you let me figure that out, and then I'll do global warming, you know? But I've seen it rain without clouds. Where's that water coming from? So I'm pretty swamped with this rain stuff right now, but once I get to the bottom of that, I'm going to do global warming, and I've got some pretty good ideas, you know.
Once I was checking a bag, and the guy by the counter, he sees my ticket says Nathan, the license says Nathaniel, and he was like, this is not good. He goes, these names don't match. And I was like, but they match, right? Like, you can see the leap that we took to get from one to the other. And he was like, but they're not the same. I was like, but they're the same. And I'm realizing he cannot find out people call me Nate at that point. I mean, he can't handle that. He's going to call the police over to be like, there's a guy with 3 names trying to fly right here. If you guys want to just shoot him from over there or something. So I was like, what do you want me to do? And he goes, you should go home. That's all I honestly said. I said, look, I'll give you that those names don't match. But what I think is going to help a ton is the picture on the ID. Something that I've always loved that they did. And I think with 70% of that name matching and 100% face, it's 170%. I think I'll get through it.